are reports about a sharing economy business called BlaBlaCar, which is an online marketplace for car sharing. It was created in France in 2006, but nowadays it's available in 22 countries, almost all of which are in Europe, and it has 70 million users. This innovation has significantly changed our way of life, specifically the way we travel. This sharing economy business has a mobile app and a website that connects passengers and drivers willing to travel together between cities and share the cost of the journey. Nowadays, trains and planes are becoming more expensive, and buses take a long time to reach the destination. Moreover, people that travel alone by car has to pay many expenses, among which is gasoline, so it benefits both the driver and the passenger. To use this platform, users first need to log in or sign in. On one hand, if they want to find a ride, they have to put the place where they are living and the place they are going to. Then it will appear all the available options with the total cost, so the user can choose the one he or she prefers. On the other hand, if the user wants to offer a ride, he or she has to put the pickup, the drop-off, the stop hours, the date and the time, and what to interested people.
BlaBlaCar was created in France, but nowadays is operating in 22 different countries. They have reports and statistics about how their creation affected in so many ways into society. One of them is that they have reduced the CO2 emissions all around the world. As we can see in the graph, they have projected how many reduction of CO2 we will have thanks to BlaBlaCar. They say that nowadays we have saved 1.6 million of tons of CO2, and by the years of 2023 they estimate that the reduction will be over 6.5 million of tons. This leads us into some new ways of taking care of the planet and give us a new perspective of the car sharing concept that we could integrate into society. Thanks to BlaBlaCar, we can now have more productive and less contaminating travels. Another of the reports and statistics they have on their website is about the social impact BlaBlaCar has had into society. According to the statistics, 87% of the people that use BlaBlaCar declared having had enriching experiences while carpooling. This could be a very good influence in the creation of new relationships between unknown people, because they will bring us closer and forge friendships that might never have been created without the help of BlaBlaCar. At the beginning, they didn't have a huge success. It costed several years for BlaBlaCar to be on the top of the car-sharing apps. As we can see in the graphic, it took more or less 3 years to start growing up. It was only 2012 that they started to grow exponentially, until 2014 that they reached 9 million users in Europe. To conclude, we also have a report posted by the Spanish newspaper called El Periódico, in where they talk about a research they have done on whether BlaBlaCar is making competition or not against buses. In the end, they conclude that BlaBlaCar doesn't suppose any unfair competition to the buses, since they have generated a platform not to organize the transport, but to put in contact individuals who want to travel together and share certain expenses. And that doesn't go against the law.
In this flow diagram, we can see the different consequences BlaBlaCar has had on society since its creation. The most important one is the change in the way of traveling. Thanks to internet and smartphones, now we can find a ride in some seconds. BlaBlaCar has taken advantage of internet because all the audience it can gain. As a result, it has changed the traditional way of traveling, and this innovative idea has opened a way to other similar companies such as Uber or Cabify, both very popular nowadays. In addition, this new way of traveling focuses more on the user needs, so it provides more comfort and less expenses for them. Another positive consequence of BlaBlaCar is the ecological one. By allowing other people to occupy the empty seats of your car, the number of individual vehicles on the road is considerably reduced. so carbon dioxide emissions are reduced as well as the greenhouse effect. Finally, the last consequence is that BlaBlaCar makes a hard competition to bus and taxi companies due to the lower cost and the ease of use. For this reason, it has received a lot of complaints from these companies and some people.
Now we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages that BlaBlaCar has had into society. One of the biggest advantages that BlaBlaCar has had is, as we mentioned previously, that they saved more or less 1.6 million of tons of CO2 in a year. Nowadays, the 80% of long-distance travel in Europe is done by car, but with an average occupancy rate of only 1.9 people, which means that 3 seats are empty while traveling. BlaBlaCar has helped to fill in these empty seats, and by that they are contributing a lot in the care of the environment, reducing the CO2 emissions and taking more profit of the travels that people are doing or going to do. Another of the advantages you have when using BlaBlaCar is that there is the diversity of people from so many different countries that you get to know. Even if you're traveling in your own country, a lot of times the people advertising the rides are from other countries, so you never know what new people you're going to meet. Thanks to BlaBlaCar and their low prices, people now can travel to a lot of different places in a more economic and easy way. Usually, train and plane traveling is very expensive, and long distance travels by bus takes a lot of time, so BlaBlaCar offers you a cheap and fast way to travel that wouldn't have been possible previously. Moving to the disadvantages, the main disadvantage that people usually think when talking about BlaBlaCar is that it's a trip where you don't really know the person you're going to travel with. So, many times, this could be a little bit scary for people that never have used the app and could cause them to decide not to travel with BlaBlaCar. Another disadvantage is that when booking a trip, you have to put in the app the departure point, the destination, and the desired time of departure, and from there you're given certain offers according to your preferences. But normally, you are not the one who chooses the place and the time of departure, since it's the driver who chooses it. So if the trip you have picked lives from a place far from your house, you will have to move to the established place, which in some cases could be a disadvantage for the passenger.
As we said before, BlaBlaCar's aim is to put in contact different users to share their cars and also the cost of the trip they do. Because of that, the company hasn't had many problems with the different governments. The only one who has gotten their way has been the Spanish one. On that case, BlaBlaCar has had many problems with the government because of the service they offer. The Spanish government has demanded them to have transport licenses, what has caused some problems between the company and the government because that kind of licenses aren't available to BlaBlaCar users, so it would be a problem. It caused that the government reported them because they were offering a transport service without having any license to do it, and the company defended themselves saying that they are not a transport company, that they are a social network to help the users to find someone to trip with. It ended up with BlaBlaCar's report to the Spanish government, to the European Commission, because of the violation of the European rights of establishment and freedom to provide services. Even if BlaBlaCar was made to help the user reduce the cost of their trips, it was also made to improve the reduction of the pollution levels made by cars and to help on the reduction of traffic on the big cities. Taking in account their objectives and goals, what the company would like for the innovation to lead us to would be a world where everyone would share their cars and use public transport by using applications like theirs or with their friends and family, and so having many less problems of high levels of pollution in the big cities. But how possible is this data to be true in the nearest future? To figure it out, we should see how many users does the application have. Now, BlaBlaCar has got 20 million users more than the last year, and if it keeps growing that way, we will probably be able to see a big change on the social and economic sectors. But nowadays there's still too many people who do not trust application, and that will make not as many people be influenced by the innovation as much as it could. That lack of trust comes from the idea of sharing a car with people you do not know. It's something that lots of people do not want to take the risk of doing. So considering all these facts, we think that this innovation will help to normalize this kind of transport, what will cause traveling be way cheaper and environment friendly.
Overall, we found that BlaBlaCar has had a good impact on society, although its introduction and integration in it was difficult. We believe that it's an innovative idea that has improved a lot the user experience and has reduced CO emissions, so the positive consequences surpass by far the negative ones. And that's all. Thanks for your attention.